Solar energy and the atmosphere. What is solar energy? The most solar energy definition is energy from the sun. It is the radiation from the sun that can produce heat, causing chemical reactions, or it could also generate electricity. Largest sources of energy received on Earth, but its intensity on the Earth's surface is quite low. Solar energy is rapidly becoming the ultimate energy source of its non-polluting character and its inexhaustible supply, which are in stark contrast to such fuel sources as coal, oil, and any other natural resources. There are two types of solar energy, the thermal energy and electric energy. When we say thermal energy is everywhere. It lights up our days, it heats the earth, our bodies, and our homes also. It dries our clothes, and all for free. Electric energy uses the power of the sun to produce electricity through solar cells, otherwise known as a photovoltaics or called PV. Okay, this is the model of photovoltaics. Okay, so itong dalawang to ay mga solar panel at itong bawat nandito sa loob ay solar cell. So once the light of the sun strike directly through the solar cells, it would create an energy past here, papunta po dito, and then it generates electricity, and that electricity rather ay magiging supply na po sa buong bahay. Okay, that is how the solar panel works. So, ibig sabihin, ito po yung tinatawag nating model ng photovoltaics. Okay? Solar energy advantages. First, it saves money. After initial investment has been recovered, the energy from the sun is practically free, environmental friendly, and solar energy not affected by the supply and demand of fuel and therefore not subjected to the ever increasing price of gasoline. And then this solar energy is very clean. It is renewable, unlike gas, oil, and coal are considered as non-renewable. Okay, when we say renewable, these are the type of energy that once you use it, it can replenish every day. Okay, every day po ay nagre-replenish, every day po nagagamit. Unlike using gas or oil and coal, they are considered as non-renewable resources because once you use them, they can replenish, or it takes time or years to replenish this kind of natural resources. Okay, and then solar energy considered as sustainable and helping to protect our environment. And solar energy does not pollute air, remember that. Therefore, the solar energy does not contribute to global warming, even the acid rain or smog, but it actively contributes to the decrease of harmful greenhouse gas emission, which is the carbon dioxide, the nitrogen, the water vapor, the CFCs, and any forms of gases present on air. What is the atmosphere? Okay, the atmosphere is a thin layer of gases that surrounds our planet. Okay, weather is a condition of the atmosphere at a certain place and time, and atmosphere also makes life possible on our planet, and it also provides oxygen, and then it keeps weather or atmosphere warm so water can exist as a liquid, and then it protects the surface from the dangerous radiation that comes from the sun, And then it protects us from the most meteoroids or meteors or rocks from the space. Okay. Composition of the air: 78% of nitrogen, 21% of oxygen, and 1% other gases. Greenhouse gases are considered as the carbon dioxide, the water vapor, and the methane. Okay, these are the layer of the atmosphere on Earth. Okay, first we have the troposphere, the stratosphere, the mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. Okay, we're going to discuss each of these layer. First, we have troposphere. A troposphere, it is where the weather conditions happen with vertical air currents or the turbulent, contains 75% of air and mostly nitrogen gases and oxygen gases present. And the second layer of the atmosphere is stratosphere. Temperature increases with altitude, contains the ozone layer in the upper region, most airplane travels, and contains about 24% of the air. And tropopause is a boundaries name between the troposphere and the stratosphere. And the third layer of the atmosphere is the mesosphere. When we say meso means between, okay, or in the middle of the atmosphere. So mesosphere class is the coldest layer where most meteors burns up. And then the fourth layer of the atmosphere is thermosphere. Thermosphere is the hottest layer of the atmosphere on Earth due to ions that directly absorb the sun's radiation and where radio waves are reflected. And the fifth layer of the atmosphere on Earth is called exosphere or the ionosphere. Okay? And then air is very thin in this area and then made up of helium and hydrogen gases. And the upper level of the exosphere is the farthest point from the Earth that is still affected by Earth's gravity. Okay? Now, we have the importance of the atmosphere on Earth. It provides the necessary gases for living things to survive, regulates the heat from the sun to just the right temperature of life on Earth. It plays also an important role in the water cycle. The ozone layer protects the Earth from the sun's harmful UV rays and protects the Earth from small meteors. Okay, this is an example of greenhouse. Okay? Bakit siya greenhouse? Kasi meron pong halaman at meron din pong parang bahay. Okay? Ang earth parang din pong ganito. Itong mga halaman na to ay ito yung earth. Okay? At ito namang nasa taas, ito namang tinatawag natin atmosphere. Okay? I-explain natin kung paano nakakatulong ang greenhouse sa ating Earth surface. Okay, what is the greenhouse effect? Okay, a greenhouse effect class, a term used to describe the heating of the atmosphere. Okay, heating of the atmosphere to the presence of carbon dioxide and other gases present on the atmosphere. So without the presence of these gases, heat from the sun would return to space in the form of infrared. So I'll explain you to this one. Okay, the greenhouse effect. Okay, the solar radiation is reflected by the earth and the atmosphere. So ito po yung solar radiation na nanggagaling po sa araw. So most radiation is absorbed by the Earth's surface and warms it. So madalas o kadalas sa mga radiation na nanggagaling sa araw ay naa-absorb po ng Earth surface. Okay, some of the infrared radiation passes through the atmosphere and some is absorbed and re-emitted in all directions by the greenhouse gas molecules. The effect of this is to warm the Earth's surface and the lower atmosphere. So the infrared radiation is emitted by the Earth's surface. So take note, class, that this atmosphere has plenty or marami pong different gases. Ito po yung tinatawag natin na carbon dioxide, may water vapor, and any other gases na meron po dyan. So kung titignan po natin, ito yung pinaka-normal. Ibig sabihin, hindi masyado polluted yung ating atmosphere sa Earth's surface. Ibig sabihin, yung greenhouse effect ay nakakatulong din po siya. Pero may negative effect po ito. Okay, ito po yun. Kung titignan po natin dito sa kabila, okay, this is in normal carbon dioxide. Ibig sabihin, yung tao nandito sa Earth ay hindi masyado sila nagpe-perform ng different activities just like pagsunog ng plastic, pagputol ng mga puno, pagsunog ng mga gas or fuels and etc. Ibig sabihin hindi talamak po dito sa side na to. Kaya po ganito po kaganda yung or ka-normal yung greenhouse effect na binubuga nitong gases na CO2. Pero kung titingnan po natin sa kabila, itong area na dito sa space na to, most of the people ay nagsusunog ng plastic, kahoy, or kahit ano-ano kasi nagbibigay po yun o nag-i-emits po yun ng maraming carbon dioxide. So pag maraming CO2 na po class na nanggagaling po sa Earth at pupunta po sa taas, ibig sabihin madadagdagan at madadagdagan po yung mga CO2 o yung normal CO2 na meron tayo sa atmosphere. Pag nadagdagan po yun, magkakaroon po ng kapal or dadami po ang CO2 at doon na po matatrap ang mga init. Pag natrap ang init, there is a tendency na iinit po ang buong atmosphere kasi rampant na po ang carbon dioxide na nanggagaling po sa Earth. Okay, kung titignan po natin, ito po yung cause ng rampant ng greenhouse effect o ibig sabihin maraming CO2. At ito naman po yung normal na CO2. Ibig sabihin, hindi masyado mainit, sakto lang, nagno-normalize lang yung Earth surface. Pero dito, hindi na po. Ibig sabihin, ito na po yung dahilan kung bakit nakakaranas po ng global warming or climate change. O later, madidiscuss po natin yan. Okay, the CFCs of the chlorofluorocarbon, ito po yung gas na makukuha sa spray of cans, discarded or leaking refrigerations and air conditioning equipment, and burning of plastic foam, products release the CFCs into the atmosphere. Depending on the type of CFCs stay in the atmosphere from 22 to 111 years. Ibig sabihin, class, it takes years. Ibig sabihin, pag tayo po ay gumamit ng ganitong uri ng mga products, ibig sabihin, it would stay long po sa ating atmosphere, itong chlorofluorocarbons. So, hanggat maaari ay iwasan po natin gumamit ng ganitong uri ng mga materials. Kasi pag gumamit tayo, nagko-contribute po tayo ng masamang gas towards our atmosphere. Okay? Okay, ito yung mga global human source ng greenhouse gases emission by sector. Okay, if we could see, class, kung titignan po natin, mas mataas na na-contribute ang energy supply ng greenhouse gases. Okay, sumunod po ang industry, it follows the forestry, and then next is the agriculture, the transport, the residential and commercial buildings, and the last is the waste and wastewater. So these are the factors na kung saan nagbibigay o nagbumubuga sila or nagpuproduce sila ng mga greenhouse gases, okay, sa Earth surface, okay? For example, ang energy na to, itong energy nagbubugay ng maraming carbon. Even ito, nagbibigay ng maraming carbon. So, to sum up, lahat po to sila na nagbibigay ng contribution pagdating po sa greenhouse gases. Tandaan po natin, ang tao po ang gumagawa ng isang way para po mag-supply ng mas maraming greenhouse gas at mas lalong iinit yung ating mundo. Kasi matatrap po lahat ng gases sa atmosphere. Okay, ito po yung mga dahilan kung bakit po umiinit lalo ang ating mundo. Okay? Evidence of a warming Earth. Okay, para malaman po natin, there is a rising global of surface temperatures, changes in precipitation patterns, melting ice or glacier or polar ice, and rising sea level. Then what makes the wind blow? So the wind blow if the air moving from a place of a high air pressure to a place of low air pressure. So if the greater or if the pressure of the air is great, ibig sabihin malakas, mas malakas din po yung produce ng hangin. Pero kung mas mahina po ang air pressure, mas mahina din po ang produce ng hangin. Okay? So, ano ibig sabihin ng monsoon? Ang monsoon, ito ay may halong temperature na mainit at malamig at may halong hangin. Okay? Ito po yung dahilan kung bakit nangyayari ang monsoon sa ating bansa. Monsoon are determine the land and the sea temperature differences. So, monsoon are created by the earth tilt in relation to the sun. The rotation of the earth acts upon these winds. So the large mountain change and irregular continent shape affect monsoon. So during winter season or winter monsoon, the wind blows from the land to ocean while the summer it is opposite. So this can cause major climate changes throughout the entire world depending on the location. So that is why Philippines ay nakakaranas po ng monsoon. Okay? There are two types of monsoon, the amihan and the habagat. Amihan, northeast monsoon, and habagat, southwest monsoon. The direction of amihan starts from the northeast, moves toward the south, and the direction of the air in habagat from southwest and moves toward the north. The land and the sea breeze, okay? During sea breeze class, it happens during daytime. So, during daytime, the land is warmer, okay? And the nighttime, the water is cooler. So, opposite naman sa land breeze. Kasi during nighttime, the land is become cooler o malamig while the water become warmer. Yun yung direction ng breezes during nighttime and daytime sa sea breeze and land breeze. Okay, land breeze and sea breeze, ito yung pinagkaiba class pagdating sa temperature and pressure. So during daytime, ang land breeze po ay higher temperature pero lower ang pressure. Pag nighttime naman, lower temperature, higher ang pressure. So in a sea breeze naman, pag daytime, lower temperature pero higher ang pressure. And then during nighttime ng sea breeze, higher temperature, lower ang pressures. So these are the difference between the sea breeze and the land breeze. Okay, ITCG means Intertropical Convergence Zones. Ibig sabihin po, yung high pressure o high pressure na nasa Northern Hemisphere at high pressure na nasa Southern Hemisphere ay nag-meet at the equatorial area. Pag nag-meet po yung dalawang high pressure, ang tawag po natin doon ay Intertropical Convergence Zone. Kaya ang Pilipinas ay nakakaranas po ng ganitong klaseng uri ng high pressure. Okay? What is global warming? A global warming class, ito yung gradual o ito yung unti-unting pagtaas ng Earth temperature caused by the high levels of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Kaya po tumataas o umiinit yung mundo because of these gases. Ito po yung tinatawag nating carbon dioxide, the methane, and any other form of gases. So these are the effects. Ibig sabihin, pag masyadong mainit po ang ating Earth, makakaranas po tayo ng ganitong mga or epekto sa atin. Okay? Common, very common ay food security threat for humans. Okay, tandaan po natin, pag nakakaranas po tayo ng ganito, ibig sabihin, mataas ang chance na we are experience the global warming effect sa ating mundo. Okay? Ang pinagkaiba ang pinagkaiba ng global warming at climate change, ang global warming, ito yung unti-unting pagtaas ng average temperature sa Earth surface, gawa ng greenhouse gases. Okay, yung climate change naman, ito yung long-term changes in climate, including the average temperature and precipitation, as well as the changes in seasonal or geographic variability of temperature and precipitation. Ibig sabihin, kung mayroong global warming class, kung mayroon pang global warmings, magkakaroon din po tayo ng climate change. Ibig sabihin, pag matindi ang global warming, makakaranas po tayo ng pagbabago ng klima sa bawat bansa. Kaya minsan class, during summer po sa Philippines, ay nakakaranas po tayo ng minsan ng ulan, 'di ba? May ganung tendency po na umuulan during summer, 'di ba? So in that case po, there is a climate change happen in our country. Okay, hindi na po nasusunod yung tamang weather change. Instead na maging summer, sometimes magiging summer, magiging winter or taglamig. May mga ganung factor po, especially sa ibang bansa. Okay? Thank you and God bless.